Nobody would know what the house is.
Okay, I think you're good to go. Hold on.
The roll call. And the call, the minutes of the last one.
So,
And so I have to use this spirit. Although the big time, I really don't know.
Very nice. Why not? You don't have to talk about it, but helping you base.
Instagram that was commemorated along with the radio reviews.
I'm going to call it I'm a big fan of
Very well done here. So the letter to the board / member August 23rd pending. What's that mean? That means that I'll put in because the view was remembered.
Exactly. And since I did this agenda, I have talked about legal duties. Pretty much everything.
I asked you. Just make
Oh,
sure.
because this better.
That's how you.
Someone said, treat like a high school song.
Yeah.
So, okay,
I got it.
so that, and that's something, remember, at the last meeting, we made a decision to go with the 2022 manual as it was updated in April. And not go with further revision because of my failure to get it on the summer agenda. So we're doing that. So that would be a work product. Okay. And then there was a question from our last meeting, and that was
You do have a letter ready in September.
Yeah, she sent that.
Okay, I got it.
it's the report to the board of the SBCA.
Okay.
So that one will be in September. There was another letter that we discussed writing, and that was going to address issues of helpful coordination with the board and the GM and so forth. And that one is still pending because it seems to me that we're getting very close to the election, and I will do what I can to make sure that N&E has a very cooperative stance on these matters. But I think if we look at the timeline, which we look at under new business, I'm going to have to highlight, I think that we're going to have some issues with the timeline. So we'll see how that works out. People have a question about the Consumer Protection Act. What part of the Consumer Protection Act meant that N&E would be denied the opportunity to know members' non-understanding? And to me, since there are many iterations of that act, it's going to be a question for the attorney. My perception is the board's been very busy this summer with planning for the gala, which appears to have been a big success. And so it's been not easy necessarily to get responses from people that didn't relate to their immediate urgent issues.
If I might, that's a question that should possibly be answered. It probably will take an attorney or two to figure it out. But N&E last year didn't vet N&E didn't vet the good standing things. We just put them in there and handed them all to and their system does have the very current Saturday morning of the election. We'll have a very current date, and they'll be down there Saturday morning if people want to get caught up so they can vote. But it'll all be fine on Saturday morning.
Right.
Well, my concern about that was never that they were properly vetted. It was able to certify, do we have the ability to verify? That's my only concern, not being able to have access.
Well, with an outside vendor having all of that really.
Unless something,
we have to do that, we don't have to do that.
unless the results came in and there was an anomaly, and then we would want to. everything looked within trend, would not need to, but just like an auditor would research anything that looked outside of typical results, we would want to do that. That's, I think, response to that.
Take it under advisement. Okay, and so now I turned my actually sort of person, sort of can't say man anymore. Person, little table at the gala, and it looked like the gala was very well attended, and we chatted, and I think that I had one person stay who would actually be running the thing. At least he said that he would earlier. We will not know who has actually submitted the applications for next week. And then later, I think you've gone on to your football game. I chatted with another person who has been thinking about running for the board, and this individual seemed very concerned about the watershed and about the environment. And that's an issue that everyone in the community is very so I don't know if, again, we won't know until next week who's actually submitted an application. All right. So the new business, and this is where Michael, I'm not sure I will need your, advice and counsel and so forth. So we will meet next Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. at the Welcome Center to open the candidate ballots.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Can I go to the Welcome Center? I've never been to that.
So Morgan, is the Welcome Center ADA compliant?
There's a ramp for the back door and the front door.
Mm-hmm.
And I think can you go over like a doorstop?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a little doorstop, but all of the doorways, I want to say, are ADA compliant width-wise, but there's no way to get upstairs.
Okay. So are we going to be?
So you'll have to be downstairs.
Downstairs or upstairs?
You'll have to be downstairs.
We'll probably, what we did last year was we're in Joanne's office, and we opened the ballot, she had a computer right there, she vetted the candidates to see if they were in good standing, and they all were, and then we wrote names on a piece of paper, put them in half, drew the order, and we went. It's very quick, short, sweet.
And I think my question was wherever we were going to be getting inside into whatever office or meeting room.
If you can get in the first floor, we don't need to go upstairs. We just do it right there.
And also,
near a computer, I'll go in.
That sounds great. I've never been inside, so
You should come beforehand and give it a tour.
I will.
In the past, that they showed. I don't know if it's open or not.
it was on
Okay, well, nobody's ever showed up, but we could do it right there in the hallway.
That's how I watched it, because I had submitted an application. And so I was able to do it remotely. This one will be in person, and I imagine I'll have to check with Morgan and with Joanne about just the logistics of where we will do it. And the admin will be closed after 4:30. So in that sense, we have some privacy if we do it. But then again, if somebody wish to observe, there should be some shared presence for them to be able to see.
What I recall from previous elections, the opening of the applications was not the opening, that the drawing names is an opening. Meaning anyone can attend. But there's
they can't be there because it violates the
they will be open that and then
Luckily, I think we have within the budget.
yeah, I'm thinking of prior to that. I don't typically came with materials and then did the drawing, so that part was.
So we'll all meet at the local center at 4:30, a little bit more 4:30.
What time did you actually let us there?
Okay, if you don't mind. Yeah, let's get and do.
Well, I asked him if you want us there early.
Earlier than 4:30?
I don't know, we need help set up anything, or is it ready to go?
I think so, because it really is, you know, it's our group. And again, I will touch base with Morgan. Always very helpful and responsive. And, you know, so she was who we need. I'm seeing Joanne's office. I don't know if it's large enough for all of us. So I think we might want to be in the lobby area possibly. I think there might be some chairs there. Then we have members coming in and walk chair. Yeah, so that's a deal to do is check on the distance.
Yeah, we have a round table at the fireplace that seats about 4, but I mean, if it's a real concern, did anybody discuss moving it to like multi-purpose room A or B?
There's a small little meeting room right there downstairs, right?
Like in front of the fireplace, yeah.
I mean, we don't need a lot of room.
Okay.
I think, Morgan, can I chat about this? I think that the listing on Valley.com states that we actually need to in the barn.
Oh,
We better check.
yeah, we'll check.
It seems like we did talk about it, and it seemed like the barn was going to be better because the meeting had to be recorded.
Oh, well,
There's no camera that
yeah, I mean, we can talk tomorrow.
Yeah, if it's been, a location been published, I would.
Yeah, I believe we chose the barn simply because it was yeah. And so, yeah, the house, et cetera.
Well, that would also have a staff person.
Right, that would be Joanne. Okay. All right. Well, here's, okay, now we're going to run everybody on the agenda had, reviewing the dates, timelines and deadlines for getting the ballot information to you guys. And so I took a look at my beautiful calendar, and I knew that the budget was supposed to have been addressed in August 24th, and it was canceled. But I thought, well, it was probably time enough to get caught up. But that's why I wanted to give us all page 2 of the new contract. And I highlighted in yellow the dates that are part of our contract. And then the backup sheet shows the board meetings that are currently posted.
These are board meetings.
Yes. And so the thing is that by not having August 24th meeting, we are now in potential trouble. It's going to be hard and to pull this all together. So let's just look at the dates. I don't know if people block with the calendar. So the original date on August 24th was a board meeting to go over the ATL agenda, the measures, the ballot, and the budget. Now we know we haven't done that. We did not have that meeting. So, and there has been some budget work earlier in July, the operational budget, the capital budget. I don't think that the board has actually finalized it. And check the minutes.
So they cannot vote on it yet, because once they vote to adopt it, it starts on full time. So there's a window of time between the time the board votes to adopt and we have to have it. So typically there's a lot of discussion about the budget. And then you kind of come to a consensus or like something that everyone has an opportunity to answer the questions, but it isn't adopted until they'll have. Yeah, they have a special meeting. So
Special meeting is
it's right here on this calendar, 9/7/23.
Right.
it's not
yeah.
Well, have to fix that.
yeah, because then it's that meeting. And it's that.
Yes, and they haven't discussed it. It's been presented, which is different than, my understanding is that when it was presented, that was the first that the board had seen. I mean, maybe it was provided to them for you that you would know. It sometimes it would send out the. So when you showed up at the meeting, that was the first that you had seen it. Yeah.
So with this meeting on 8/25, N&E and the GM began work on drafting the election book, but they've been that either.
Well, that was so clearly, that simply was not going to happen. That was not happening. And again, I feel like I need to get with Joanne and suggest that she and I talk about this. And I was giving people a chance to come and cover for the data. It was a long day and probably a lot of time.
So we have just over a week to get, we elect all information needed for the official.
I think I said that to you from last year, the basic layout of the ballot. Yeah. I have it on my basic layout, the pages, you have to change some times and dates. I thought sure I said that to you. Nancy sent it to me and Linda sent another copy to me. And it's the basic copy they've been working on, but we just have to amend some wording maybe here and there, some dates, and add in.
So you put in like a dummy budget.
Yeah, and kind of just lay it out. But we would have to, I don't know, is it required when we're working on that for us to be a live video meeting? Can we do that off? On our own, because we just never like on a Zoom and work it out so that we have it to present. Because we're behind by a week.
Yeah. It says N&E GM, but all of the materials that are actually going into the ballot, besides the candidates.
Yeah.
It might be different if we were proposing biological changes.
So I know I'm doing this, but I look at number 12. It says over by ULEC with all the information needed for the official ballot and member of the list. We would get all the detailed information, budget, any bylaw changes. I'm reading number 12. They use that data to start building
And it basically is made. I mean, except like it says right here, see past official ballot language for reference, but that is basically all together. And all we have to do is agree on the format of it and leave a blank here for the budget, blank here for the blank here for the bylaw changes. But the rest of it can all be laid out real simply and putting in our wording for mailing dates that we want to have on it. We can put all that together.
I thought about Michael. I guess what I'm saying is the wording of that in the contract. When I read that, I'm not thinking of the same what you're saying. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. It's maybe for the next contract they should say the content layout or something.
No. Actually, reading through all the steps now, I agree with what you're saying, Rob, because on the Monday the 11th, we're mailing them the voter guide and the Word doc. Tuesday, September 12th, we will email SBCA all ballot packet artwork to include, like, that's basically like our proof that should have all the information, which we'll have the candidate information, and on that special meeting, which is yet to be added to the board calendar, they will have to vote on the budget and any bylaw changes. What makes this hard is that since nothing has been discussed yet, it's hard to get a feeling for where it's going to land. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, what can I say? I would have not going to do this stuff. Or if we're going to do it, it would not have been reviewed.
I will say that. That's that.
And, but Michael, I don't recall getting the sample ballot from you or from the previous chair. And then I don't assume Jan may have it, but I wasn't sure.
On the calendar, this calendar here, not what says in the contract.
Right.
On the calendar here,
Right.
on 9/8, it says GM, the general manager, sends the ballot info to Unified on 9/8. Does not need layout, just needs info. And I don't know what that.
Depends on what you define info.
Yes, I don't know what info that
Well,
is.
and that's I would tell the Robin's question.
Yeah.
But,
Again, I think that this.
I do, I think the question, but I think it's in that. I think what we're probably in that. Yeah. So the thing you get to work, I have an idea of how many pages.
It could be just a table of contents.
This is my first program, I'm sorry. But correct me if I'm wrong in my assumptions of reading this. So on this, the 8th, it's just information needed for the ballot. So basically, the verbiage for the budget is going to be the same as last year and the year before and the year before. So really the only thing that's changing are any bylaw changes, which we don't really have any, and then names, right?
There's going to be an optional survey to the membership.
Did they vote to approve those, or are those been suggested?
That would need to be done by September 8th.
I don't know if they've been approved, it's not agreed. Again, I'm sorry, but I'm not sure if the board, I'm not voting on the ballot, and so sometimes I'm not going to pay attention to what's going on. My sense is that the informal preference survey is definitely included, even though it doesn't have any legal weight, it's just sort of I can't figure out how to describe it. So, yeah, an advisor. I believe that.
So I just have a question in terms of number 12. What is our committee's deliverable?
Just a basic task.
That's what I'm thinking of.
It's just a bit of draft that with the basic format and with the gap saying that we're going to put this in here, we'll probably put this in here, and we'll probably put this in here, and we have a general guideline. But I'm going to make a motion, or if it's needed, but we seriously need to get a direct answer from the executive committee on how we're going to catch this up. Because we're way behind. We had the 50th celebration set for August 19th, the 26th. Now we're back, we're actually 2 weeks behind on where we should. And they're not scheduled meetings to do the stuff that needs to be done. So how are they going to catch this up to fit into everything so that it meets with the final thing on 9/15 of approving everything and getting it to Unilag on 9. That's our window, 9/15. They have to have everything in their hand at Unilag. So we have between 9/7 and 9/15. That's 2 weeks.
Is one.
Pardon me?
It's one month. Well, that's what it's today, but
yeah. Well, the 17th to the 15th is 2 weeks. So we're 9/7 to 9/15. That's. I guess it is 1 week, you're right. So that's a week to pull all this together after this week.
Right.
I was going to say another way to say that is 2 weeks from today. So today we have there's been really no discussion on budget or advisory votes. We want that in 2 weeks. We have to have a time. So in that time, we have to schedule a special meeting, discuss the budget, adopt the budget, and then any other votes that we will want to do about advisory or not. That has to be done within 1 week. Then within 1 week of that, we have to
The 9/15 are for them to be able to get this done and out and meet the deadline of sending out ballots on the 27th. That was very ironclad.
Well, maybe they already have a plan, just don't know it.
Well, I think that's what, Michael was wanting. But I think your motion, Michael, should be, succinct, and it should go along the lines of, we would ask the executive team, to let us know
How are they going to meet this
The calendar.
9/15 deadline calendar?
yeah, to September 15th.
Do we need a motion for this? It sounds more like an action item to the executive.
And I'm not sure that date of 9/15, I mean, that's the final, but actually the voter guide in Word doc, which will include all of the candidates' information, all the measure information, the budget information, that is due on September 11th. We don't have until the 15th to get that done. So our deadline really to get information for the AGM and the ballot is on September 11th.
I think that if they can read the September 15th deadline, they may actually need to fix it up. I mean, they cannot.
And it depends on how long we'll let needs to print.
We can't really move them too much. And the other thing is, these are all marked as these are the GM's responsibility, not the last. We just submit it to the office. They're the ones that have chosen to handle this thing. And it all has to be approved.
Does you want to have other yes,
Yes, they have a
right. So that's another thing. Sometimes the dates that they provide us is because they are fitting us in a window. I don't know that's specifically about people, but I know auditors, survey analysts, that's related. They have a window for us, but we just slip on our deadlines, we get bumped back. The issue with the AGM is that then we're out of compliance with state law. So we have state laws, we have to do this. So it's in our bylaws and date, we have to hold our AGM. It's not really wiggle room on that. And then there are state laws that require when this material needs to get to people. So the contract moved back into those dates and make sure did it with their other firms.
They did very much also responding at the time to Michael and I both wanted to ensure that the ballots got timely, because I believe last year that was $100 and not too late to be covered. And that would have been a difference in the outcome. These were people who had voted, but they simply arrived in California too late.
They came on Saturday. They were all closed on Saturday.
They were close enough day, but they had probably received them late. So we had to move up to the noon day. This was, to September 27th, and instead of, I think, maybe before October 20th. So that was a significant earlier start date to ensure. And then there's some language to put on the actual ballot envelope, make sure you put it in the mail.
Yeah, I mean, this gives us a total of 6 days. When your mailing drop date according to this contract, but again, this is our contract. We should be upholding the dates that we agreed to. So per SBCA bylaws on election manual, election materials must be mailed not less than 30 days. So in order to not be out of compliance with our own push that and still be out of compliance with the contract. But 6 days, not 6 business days, it's 6 calendar days. It's the maximum amount that they can push that without being out of compliance with our bylaws. But they will be out of compliance. And who knows what else.
Yeah, but it was not that really the next meeting, I think we did call in the treasurer and Steve Mitchell, that is our finance committee now, so we have, Steve Mitchell, and asking if they had a plan, right? But I thought, you know, we're gonna have our meeting, let's discuss it. And also when I have these requests, I'd like to avoid sounding really, you know, like, gotcha. I really think that's not helpful.
You know, that's not what we're asking.
You know, I know that, but that is, so I'd like some language that I can provide them. You know, something like that?
No, but I have this email from Catherine Burkhardt saying, Joanne, I want to recap these days. And she has, you know, highlighted these days in order to meet the deadline that we all agreed on, getting everything out, and we held the line on them not moving on Thursday, but on Friday afternoon, we got all the mail on Friday that could possibly be there. But this is a big step on. These are some big things that have to be done. We have a basic packet that we need to get together and look at and say, okay, this is how the packet's going to be, and we get that to Joanne. But the board has to come up with their addendum, anything they want to have in the packet. We have to have the candidate approved, the budget approved, and all the letters in from those that are running for candidates. But on Friday, September 8th, Catherine is under the understanding that Sun Valley Community Association would send you the official ballot language by email to include board candidates' names and number of seats up for the election, as well as the order that should be listed on the ballot. Looks like, you know, it would look like the 2022 thing. The N&E candidates by order, ACC candidates by order, the language for any ballot measures or amendment questions, and any other language requested in the official ballot. So there's a lot of stuff that has to go in. They're expecting on September 8th.
You know, Michael, I don't have a copy of that because at the time you were the chair.
Yes.
And working with Joanne. Is this for me?
You can have it, I don't need it. I can make him a copy and get it to you, but I probably have it sitting on the
That
But
was
so you
good.
can have it.
Was this calendar voted on and approved by the board?
This is the calendar the board gave us.
Did they vote on it? Okay. Could we ask, is this a fair way to say before I make a motion, or maybe my free motion, but is a fair way to ask, can the board please amend the calendar, maybe this one's just executive session, amend the calendar to reflect, you know, reasonable dates to get us.
But the calendar is long. I mean, it's okay.
Well,
the thing that has locked us in is we have a written contract with Unilever to meet these days. So they can meet their deadline.
And that's what I'm trying to get to, is can they, so we missed some of these dates that are in the current approved calendar that was voted on and on. But can they adjust the calendar so that we are at least working off of, we're all on the same page as far as dates, that we've gotten off track. We need to get back on track so that we can meet these contract dates. So it would be adjusting this calendar and then this board calendar as well. But do they need to call 2 special meetings? Like how, you know, yeah, but the conversations have to be like, oh, we're gonna do this and this, like, let's get it done.
Something formal.
Yes.
Well, I'm thinking that an email, okay, one option would be like the finance because the budget is not. So it's going to be looked at on the 24th. So, I mean, these are just options that we work at finance. I could write to the executive team, or both, because we have to have finance, but he's not an executive, and we're from the executive finance, and more attention, to the finance. And just state, how do we put this? If we have the September 15th, we are running behind. And we would like to hear their plan
Maybe what
to meet the deadline.
maybe what we could say is, we would like to discuss how to, discuss how to revise the calendar so that we are now able to meet the September 8th contract item,
Or
number 17 or something.
something email that says, looking at the contract with Unilect, we have the following dates that need to be met. Please confirm that these dates are on schedule and the requirements will be met, or please advise of alternate dates.
That's good.
Because she's supposed to be the one communicating this after the contract with Unilect, that the GM will communicate.
Well, my suspicion is that she will care very much about this. And she's just been totally distracted with the work of the deal.
What if you and I try to set up a time with Joanne that could show her the ballot layout that I have, I can get it printed or get it on this, so we can.
Yes. That sounds good. Just like that this language again from the record, it sounded excellent, so looking at the contract, say it again. Of course. I know you're really interested. Come to the girl and
Say just say it. Upon review of the Unilect contract, we have certain dates that need to be met. Please advise that these dates will be met, or if alternate dates have been established.
And or you also, as I recall, you said the dates noted from item 12 to item 17. So she can.
Sure, yeah, reference.
You pointed right.
Or we can just list them.
I like the way you said that. My background in poetry, so.
I'll write it down and let you know.
Yes,
To everyone.
Because it's to the point, it's not confrontational, it's another team, anything like that. But it would be helpful. And I imagine probably, that people, put it in such energy on this paper, so, resting on the laurels. And just enjoying it. Thank God, that's all we're.
Well, I'm sure the deal was lots of fun, but this is important.
But this is really important, yes. And I think, I was going to go down to Seattle tomorrow, but if the board wants to meet on, I think I'll go to Seattle tomorrow. We're talking about the following week. But I might try to meet with Joanne tomorrow. I don't know yet. Yeah. But do send me the ballot template that you have. And at least I'll reach out to her. Is there a day when you can do?
I may be free tomorrow. I'm kind of like the last thing that was said to me was, would you like to go somewhere in the state? A head gasket, somewhere in the state.
There might be Bridgeport.
I don't know what's going on tomorrow. But, I can tell them I can't there and it's in someone else. So it has to be tomorrow.
Well, I think really time is up next week. And we need to
try to do this tomorrow, Tuesday or Wednesday.
I think to meet with Joanne would be a very good idea because is probably a lot of work.
Yes.
And, you know, for us and, you know, for us and Joanne to establish some kind of communication.
I have a request, if Michael, what you said, all of us that template, so they never knew, very clear to see that.
Yeah, I will.
Thank you, Michael.
I just want, Rob, I appreciate your comments about the importance of this. You know, we're by law, state law, you know, necessary top priority stuff. That said, I would suggest possibly CCing the whole board on an email, simply because I believe the whole board is responsible to keeping them on track. Yes, the actual duties of it are delegated to the finance committee, and the executive committee sets the calendar, you know, and whatnot. But it really is, and I think this is probably not about it really is the responsibility of the entire board to make sure that we follow all of these rules. It isn't just that select. It's all of them, and they should be, if they're not aware, they all should be aware. It's all of their responsibility. But if they're not, let's slip their mind, if they think about it, it would be good to bring awareness to focus on.
Well, I think that this email letter could be addressed to the executive team and the finance committee for that formal. But at the same time, when it's sent, like email. Okay, well, I think this, I agree, I think this was my concern actually, is that, you know, these are very important things and we need to.
But also, Michael, did you say that there's some work for us to do with that? Filling in that template a little bit?
I did the direct, we should, yes, there is stuff that we can do to get the ballot. Yes, there is stuff that we can do to get the AGM template all put together so that we can get it. It's just set, all we have to insert is the final stuff. And so we should set up one. We should ask, do we have to, is that constituted as an end meeting that we have to make public? Or can we meet on, like, do a Zoom or get together another day and look over the packet and agree on how we're going to lay it out? And that should be done this week. I'm free Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe a little bit evening later, but
so I'm just confused a little bit. So on the Friday, September 8th, SBCA said that's going to come from someone in the office, not us, to provide with all the information needed. So that means we need to get them all the nominations, all the candidates, right, in the positions in the order, and then any ballot measures or anything like that, that would need to come from the board.
We would just have a placeholder.
Yeah, so
we would just have it laid out, the little packet laid out, so they don't have to drop that in.
but that needs to go to the
Joanne
too, and then Joanne by the 8th. So if Joanne has to send this to them by the 8th, is she giving us a deadline prior to the 8th because she needs to get it ready?
We should have most of it ready when we hand it to her.
So what I'm reading in my first meeting, our deliverable is to have that template, table of contents by the September 8th. So I agree with Michael that we should meet sooner than later. My sense is that the board of directors is going to say at any time we get to discuss any business that needs to be local. So we would need to call a special meeting.
So we can call a special meeting when we need $48.
Yes, that's 48 hours, so let's just do it.
Since most of our job is to give them the candidate's name and the order, not to be
Well,
listed, we can do that on the 5th, right?
Yeah, we won't have that till the 5th, and then.
Why don't we just stay half an hour later on the 5th and just get it done?
Yeah,
I'm fine with that.
if you guys are able to maybe talk with Joanne, if we're gonna meet and kind of talk about, it sounds like maybe more layout stuff. Ask the candidate, you know, need for a little bit longer just to make any
That's fine.
changes to that ballot, because it sounds like, not ballot language, changes to anything, because it sounds like everything else, wording, numbers, is all gonna have to come. Well, it will all come directly to the board,
At the last minute.
So,
and everything from the candidates comes directly to the candidates, so we're not really providing any content. It sounds to me like we're providing layout and some oversight, keeping this thing moving forward.
so you have like board of directors, candidate 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on.
Yeah.
ACC, candidate 1, 2.
Probably shouldn't take one.
Especially if we have to.
Well, it's all, we've done used the same template for 3 years now, but it's real simple. So, all right, let's plan on staying later on the 5th. And, I guess we're gonna meet here, if that's what you want to do. It's
So-
easy to access, if people want to be here, they meet here, and, we will have to have,
So we would just have to amend the agenda for September 5th.
well, wherever
Wherever it is.
Wherever it
Website,
is,
that it's-
for NE. For
I
me,
have wondering, in the lead up to September, and you circulate this template, I don't see any reason why we couldn't begin working with it and sharing it amongst ourselves, and then the agenda item fits to.
Sure.
It's pure simple.
It would just be like
Canada. We've already looked at it, I mean, I suggested that try to input that we have, or at least input. Even the placeholder should, allow someone to say, okay, this is what we have to get.
Sure.
Yeah, and
So
then
let's do that.
our job between the 5th and the 8th will be, one of the manual says, will be take orders, yeah, so we actually get that information to populate it.
Yeah. I hope we can do it out. I'm sorry that the decision was made this year should not be that early, but that kind of place that we wouldn't know who was running and, that's a different issue to cover at the time. So. What else do we have on our agenda?
let's call it.
Is that it?
And our next meeting is in September 5th, and we will, I have in my notes that we'll meet, do the draw, or the candidate draw, and then we'll finalize our package.
We should be able to populate it with at least names and the orders now.
Yeah. Even if we don't have it in there, we can have it, put it with it, But I'll bring my laptop, it's all on there, and I'll send you guys all copies.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, so I just want to recap where we are. Although I'm going to talk to Joanne and see if you and I can meet with her for right? To just get started. Really basically open chapter.
Yeah, just communicate. And the only reason I'm gonna be there, so I can take notes, so I know what we're doing.
Well, and also because we get the valuable to get through those issues a couple of times already, 3 times. So that's good. And so that is a to-do. And then there's one to-do is to do that, another to-do is to draft this letter, and we're going to send you your final comment, very diplomatic, but effective and exclusive text. Okay, do you have anything else to read about? This is fun.
Well, I have a question, and maybe I just forgot before we landed on this. With the approving of the 28-22 manual, and with the kind of
Our decision as a committee was to wait until we see who the candidates are and to check with them. that we were trying to do one weekend, I gave them one evening day, but since we got them there,
Yeah,
we would see what their availability was as well.
but we were running it even though the manual says communications.
Yeah,
That's what I was told, that the active of communications would talk to us, but since,
That makes sense.
it makes sense.
AJ said it at one of the very first meetings that maybe we should handle.
No, but
They
I,
voted on it. That's different.
But since there is no communications, it's default that internet.
Well, yeah, I mean, but last year didn't, go in, so that was my question is that, are we all?
She was the,
moderator,
MC.
just the moderator, but
I would moderate,
the communications plan that.
well, not that we know where the questions came from. And I do think the teachers
They were submitted
But
by,
Michael was not a part of that. Nancy ran that. Michael had nothing to do with anything about theater. Nancy ran the whole show and let me sitting in the corner. Whatever.
what I was gonna say was that questions were submitted by the people that were in person.
I love the idea of questions from the community. That they submit
Absolutely.
email ahead of time, and once even.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I had made another little, piece for this kind of piece, simply asking the committee, start sending questions to the secretary. Saying that we can't guarantee we'll use all of them, or possibly any of them, but we do want that these forums, which I also mentioned with how they have to announce, to be an opportunity for that.
And you know, we have several last year that I participated in, and from the audience kind of feedback is asking, you know, when they ask these, some of them were very bizarre questions, and some were easier, some were more thought to different candidates. When all the candidates had a chance to respond to the same question, it went over much better than having both from the candidates' views and from the feedback we got from the community members who attended.
And I agree.
It works more like a structure.
Yes.
And not always keeping the same order. These would be the same order calling on people.
Yeah, it's almost more like having a candidate interview than a candidate question out of the bag. Maybe you'll be asked how many frogs and how many you got. Maybe you'll be asked, you know, something how to end World Hunger.
Well, I think it helps people to, having participated in them before and watched them, I think it helps people to get a better sense of the candidates when they're all answering the same question rather than answering different ones. And you're like, well, I don't know if, you know, I like that candidate better because they got a better question, or, you know, and so I like that. It doesn't need to be a gotcha. It's a time for them to, you know, speak to their issues and introduce themselves.
And this will be live and available on Zoom. Yeah, we should do it that way so we can do it down and watch or comment section.
Also, last year, I think there were at least two, not really forums, but the other was at Alabama. They were actually private candidates, so they were not something about the association. But I think those were a lot of fun. I'm sure that many people were just thought they were great. Because we said it was so fun, people would
And encourage them to, you know, anybody, any candidate to come. It's not like the wing that too, or you know, it's a group of candidates who would like to get to the house.
No, I thought they would do really well, something about fun. And then after all the meeting and mingling and sipping and margaritas and so forth, that we all did stand up. I think my old meeting on stage or something, and you know, and then all of us were available to, you know, address the gathering. I think that was idea is,
Move to adjourn.
I'll second.
all right, so we are adjourning at, 7:33.
Time I was at the ACC meeting, that was 6 minutes. Were you in that one?